Just play the cartoon.
We'd love to, really, but the Warner execs won't allow it.
Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes commentary. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. So this is a commentary for A Wild Hare, released in 1940. It's the 296th in the series, and it's directed by Tex Avery. You can find this on DVD on the Essential Bugs Bunny set, fully restored, the Looney Tunes Platinum Collection Volume 2, and even better, the 80th, the Bugs Bunny 80th collection. I mean, sorry, I'm just still shocked that I'm on A Wild Hare. And before I introduce my guest, I got to hear this one line right now.
Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
You have no idea how long I'll be waiting to hear that one line. Now, with me today is my friend Blue Genocide, and who's going to join me in a sec. But I also want to thank Billy West for getting Bugs Bunny to appear on the show briefly, because I know how busy Bugs is, and I'll have a link below to Billy West's cameo as well. But say hi, Blue. Sorry for the delayed introduction there.
I guess I'm just not wanted. No.
No. Sorry, I'm just...
I get it. It's Wild Hare. You finally made it.
Yes.
No,
Thank
you want to
goodness.
do more buddies, don't you?
Oh, I'm going to go back and redo them more because it's so great.
Director's cut.
But I also have to be silent when we hear that "What's Up, Doc" part, because I'm sorry, I'm just stunned that I'm finally here in this beautiful. I mean, it's not just first appearance of Bugs Bunny, but this is a great cartoon. Just full stop. It's just
Period.
so
Yeah.
one of the most perfect cartoons I think ever made. But yeah, that's just me. Like, look at this hand animation right here. It's just amazing. You know. Was going through the walk one day and then whoop.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely. So we're going to finally very shortly hear those immortal lines, and I just cannot wait. So he's going to now dig. See, I know this cartoon off by heart. Like,
Everybody does. Everybody should.
That's
All right,
it.
I'll be
So
quiet here.
There he is. Let's hear it.
What's up, Doc?
Beautiful. I had to hear that one again. Sorry, guys, but now, "What's Up, Doc" was according to Tex, a saying that was that was done in Texas or thereabouts. And for this video as well, by the way, we're just going to do a casual commentary, pointing out a few things along the way, and then we're going to do a proper discussion at the end. So,
Makes sense.
yeah.
You know, I have to say, I know this is 1940. I don't know if it's just me, but these designs always looked very 30s to me.
Well, this would have been animated probably very late 39, early 40s, something like along those lines anyway. So it's kind of like people expecting, 2020 turning into 2021, that automatically it's going to be sunshine and rainbows, like it's just...
No, I
it's all
totally
grad-
agree.
Yeah. It's all... And from what I've been reading in my research here, the nonchalant carrot chewing stance, the whole thing that Bugs is known for, it's been told has come from the movie It Happened One Night, where Clark Gable is leaning against a fence eating carrots, and so yeah.
I want to quickly interject here.
Yes.
The Olivia de Havilland. I can't remember if that's the original name that they said, but when this cartoon was reissued, the original actress Bugs brings up had unfortunately died a pretty gruesome death, from what I remember. So they changed the line with the recording. I don't know if you know the actress, like which one became who. Like, I don't know if you know that. I don't.
It's basically Carolyn Lombard. Okay, Carol Lombard. There we are.
Okay,
and then with Barbara Stanwyck.
Right. I only know that name because of Back to the Future.
Of course. Absolutely. Now, in case you guys are wondering, this was supposed to be actually a bigger chat affair, but recording this a few days after New Year's Day, rather. You know, life happens. You know, but I'm going to get recordings from some of my regular collaborators. I'm going to put them towards the end as well, giving their thoughts on a wild hair. I just guess that they're not serious about cartoons. I mean, life, whatever.
I'm the only one loyal enough to be here.
That's right. You're the loyal one. No, look, things happen. It's fine. Look, but then again, you know, a lot of us have seen this kind of so many times, like this skunk. I guess is that proto Pepe Le Pew?
Could be. I can't do that voice.
That kind of nah, definitely not. I doubt that Pepe Le Pew was even in Chuck's mind at this point. I mean, you know, obviously he didn't work in his short, but you know,
that was like 6 years from now, right?
Oh, yeah, what was it, 47 or something? Yeah, something like that. Anyway,
I always liked how Bugs looked in this short. Like, I know, like lots of people prefer like the later look, like the '50s look, but there's something oddly charming about the way this Bugs looks.
Absolutely. And if you look at the Bugs design, it's still not finalized per se, but it's close enough that you'd say, yeah, that it's kind of like watching the first season of The Simpsons. I mean, a lot of it's incredibly off model, but you still know that that's The Simpsons. Whereas if you look at the earlier Simpsons shorts from the Tracy Ullman show, they would be more akin to the proto Bugs in a way, like the sort of Simpsons, but not quite.
I think that's an insult in the animation of this cartoon.
but you get my point. I would say. But,
no, I get it. I will say, if you want to see some great off-model Bugs, Hiawatha's Hare Hunt has some pretty good ones.
Oh yes, yep, and I'll definitely get to that very soon. But I love this death scene here. It's just the acting is just incredible.
You're gonna see this a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you reuse this type of gag again, but and I should also mention this is, funnily enough, the only Elmer Fudd cartoon directed by Tex Avery. So weird, huh? He's associated.
Not after I found out that he only ever did like 3 Taffies. At this point, he just didn't like characters.
Yeah. But he did all this in Rabbit Stew, that Sense 11 cartoon, where instead of using Elmer, he used the Fetch It African-American stereotype character, which that'll be fun to get to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Not really, but anyway, we've got to do them all.
There's some good gags in that short. I mean, I know it's offensive and horrible in places, but there are some really good stuff in there.
Yeah, no, we'll definitely get to that in a few moments. So, as we wind down the cartoon of this milestone, definitely stick around, ladies and gentlemen, as we will do some further discussions on a wild hair. So don't go away.
Welcome to another Toondudes commentary. This is The Midnight Snack, which was the second released Tom and Jerry cartoon, which was released on July 19th, 1941. And please remember that if you're new to the channel, to consider subscribing, as it really helps me out. And for this cartoon, I have a special guest star, Anthony's Animation Talk. You want to say hi?
No, I never do.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Never wants to say hi.
Wow. I love me some Tom and Jerry.
I've been watching Tom and Jerry just as long as I've been watching Looney Tunes. I had a VHS of the Greatest Chases VHS, which I think came out in like 99, 2000 or something. And it didn't have this one, but I've had the Blu-ray since it basically came out. So I've watched this one a dozen times.
Yeah. This one wasn't one that I actually watched when I was growing up. It was actually completely new to me when I got the Blu-ray. So... but it's a nice one. There's a few bits of trivia. You were mentioning to me before about the title card,
right? So for the most part, every cartoon that you're going to see has reissued title cards. because unfortunately most of the prints of the original title cards were lost in a fire.
Yeah, which is definitely unfortunate. There would have been lots of really good stuff in there, and that's why the restoration of Tom and Jerry is particularly problematic, because they used a lot of times inferior elements. That's why if you get the Blu-ray, you'll notice that some of the restorations are actually pretty good. In fact, really good. Like this one, I think is really good. But then you'll get a few that, yeah, I'm sure they tried, but
I do remember reading in forums around the time that the Blu-ray was released that people were complaining that a couple of the cartoons were using Laserdisc prints or something. I remember that. I couldn't name a specific one, but I think the fishing one.
Yeah, I know the one that was destined to the cancelled Volume 2 release, Heavenly Puss. If you look at the restoration for that one, it's pretty bad. But it's my understanding that for a few of the more problematic ones, they have found better elements. So if they ever do revisit it, at least they got better things to work from. Fingers crossed. But
I hate to say it, but I feel like if they were to do another Tom and Jerry Blu-ray set, it would probably be another like a rehash of the first one with. Not that would be too bad, but it definitely wouldn't have a whole lot of new stuff on it. It would probably have like one or two shorts. But we aren't talking a whole lot about this cartoon in particular, and I gotta say that it's a Hanna-Barbera cartoon from the 40s. The food looks amazing, and we're about to see a lot of that, and it's probably going to make some of us hungry. Luckily, we both ate right before this, so there's that at least.
Exactly right. Yeah, so if you look at Tom's design, it's similar to his first appearance where he was known as Jasper, where you can see that the fur is very, furry, which would have been a real pain to animate, which is why they ended up streamlining it. His face is still similar to the Jasper-like character. They still haven't quite got the Tom look that we all know and love, today. But it's getting closer.
Yeah, definitely. I would argue that it's a little bit closer to Tom than it would be Jasper, just because Jasper is definitely a very realistic looking cat, while Tom here, we can call him Tom now, a lot more cartoony. Yeah. And I just gotta say, like, what would happen if your fridge looked like that in real life?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
It wouldn't look like that for long.
Because I would keep eating everything. I would keep eating everything, especially those desserts, which look absolutely awesome. One thing I did find out about this cartoon is that when they were making this, when it was clear that Tom and Jerry was a hit, Jasper, the original version, Tom was actually still called Jasper during the production before they ultimately changed it to Tom.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Was Jerry still known as Jinx, or were they thinking Jasper and Jinx?
Yeah, I'm not sure about Jerry, but Tom was still called Jasper when they were still working out. So I would assume that they would have still had it as Jasper and Jinx, and then they just decided to change it, and that is
that is the story I've always heard, was that the names came together. One person suggested them, and he got like a $200-$300 bonus for coming up with the name, which is a lot of money. I'm not 100% sure about the number, but
no, for sure. In fact, I'll even send you a model sheet. You can even probably overlay it too, which clearly says Jasper and Midnight Snack. So, in case people think I'm just talking through my okay. Mammy may be problematic character today, but that gag was pretty funny. Lifting up all those little skirts,
that joke has nothing to do with race. That would have been funny if she was a white woman. And, we're not going to talk a whole lot about Mammy throughout the rest of the series. We talked enough about that in Puss Gets the Boot. So go watch that previous commentary if you want our opinions on that. But just to keep it short, it wasn't right then. It's not right today. All Tom and Jerry releases will have that notice for you to read. So,
yeah, definitely. But I like Tom's acting, and I noticed as the short progresses, he seems to get slightly less furrier. So it's quite possible that as we're animating it, they're realizing how much of a pain it really is to have all that fur, and they're probably just slowly streamlining it. You know, he still has it, but
Yeah, you know what? Now that you notice it, he does seem a lot more simple. I've never noticed that in this cartoon. It's kind of like in the Galloping Gotch show, where Mickey's design changes halfway through the cartoon.
yeah,
Which is ironically the second
but
cartoon of that series, if you count it by the original production dates.
Now, if I have to fault this cartoon, it probably goes on for a bit too long. It is a 9-minute short. I think this would have probably benefited from being a 7-minute short, maybe trimming some of the gags or speeding things up a bit, but they'll improve.
Yeah, I
see.
feel like they could have ended it with Tom throwing the piece of cheese like into the fine china, I guess you would call it.
Which is what you do when you get pissed off, and when you don't record a commentary properly, you just throw a piece of cheese to your fine china, yeah?
Yes, because those two things I always have around. I haven't seen a 2-pronged spork like that just laying around, though. I mean, that's kind of like... I do love the timing of this, where Tom looks and he sees exactly what's going to happen to him, and he knows what's going to happen. Like that's just gold to me.
And the audience
goes on
too.
for a little. It might go on for a little long, but it is pretty funny. Unfortunately, they're still figuring out Tom and Jerry, so he just made like a cat yell, which isn't as funny. I mean, no one wants to think of an actual cat getting hurt.
Yeah, I preferred the whole Bill Hanna, the
Yeah, and they figured it out pretty soon after this. It didn't take them that long.
Yeah, exactly. It's only the second short, so I always liken it to the first season of The Simpsons. They certainly didn't figure it out, so
that's entirely true as well.
So yeah.
Final thoughts?
I mean, I like this short. Yeah, I like this short. Not the best, but hey, I could think of worse ways to pass the time.
So can I. I think that they're getting their stride from the first cartoon, and there's better things to come. So join us for those. Have a good one, guys. Peace out. Hi guys, and welcome back to another Toondudes commentary. Today we're doing Plain Crazy, which was the first made Mickey Mouse cartoon, but the fourth released on March 17th, 1929. And with me, I have a special guest. You may know him from Animation Talk. Say hi, Anthony.
G'day, how's it going? We're watching this wonderful cartoon.
Yeah, I always I had the vintage Mickey disc as a kid, so this was one of the cartoons I saw the most, and it's very jarring how different this Mickey is.
Absolutely, no gloves, all animated by Ub Iwerks, who, if you want me to tell a little bit of history behind this cartoon, or do you want to do it?
You can go right ahead.
All right, so I'll be as brief as I can because it's only a 6-minute cartoon, but essentially Walt had his studio where they were working on Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, and what happened was the producer had quietly gotten most of the animators away to work without Walt, and Ub Iwerks, along with Walt, they ended up creating the Mickey Mouse cartoons, and this was done in secret. While in one room they were doing the Oswald cartoons, in another room, Ub Iwerks was literally animating all of this, and he could do like 700 drawings in a single day, which is incredible. So, yeah.
Ub honestly never got the credit he deserved. I still think to this day he's very unsung as a hero for, animation.
Absolutely. And look, the 700 drawings a day thing, look, for this style of drawing, it's easier to believe because it is very, very simple. because a lot of times,
Yeah.
like when his hands are in a fist, for example, it's just a circle. So, of course, he can do that, but it's still pretty darn impressive, I have to say.
Well,
Absolutely impressive.
if you think that's easy, you should try drawing 700 drawings in a day yourself.
Exactly. I mean, I can do 700 drawings in a day. They just won't be any good.
Yeah, I'll draw like 500 squares, and then maybe I'll get tired and draw circles for the rest of them. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, just like how this is the first appearance of Minnie or Mickey, it's also the first appearance of Minnie.
Absolutely.
That Dachshund, or is that how you say it? The dog. He does appear later.
The dog.
Yeah, and the interesting thing to know is that despite this being the first one made, as we said, it had a test screening. Do you remember the date? I don't have it in front of me.
May 15, 1928.
Despite that, they didn't find its distributor, and because of that, this cartoon wasn't released until they edited it for edited it for sound. That's the word I was looking for, sound. Because
Yes.
at the time, this series' only major gimmick was the fact that it was an Oswald with sound.
Yeah,
honestly, if copyright was the same way as it is now, Universal could have easily sued Walt, because honestly, they didn't do much to change Oswald into Mickey. When you think about it,
yeah, especially these really, really early ones. In fact, this cartoon is very similar to one of an Oswald cartoon called The Ocean Hop, released in 1927, which Walt himself, of course, had a hand in.
Yeah, and this shot's really cool too. The 3D perspective. They did that quite a bit in the Oswalds, and that's something you're going to notice when you bring up the early Mickeys. Is that even up to like 1933, 1935, they were still using gags from the Oswald cartoons, which just shows you how long, how many gags they would just repeat and repeat. Like people blame Looney Tunes for that, but Disney was doing the same thing.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Why change what works? And these things, as I mentioned in my own channel, shameless plug. These cartoons were never designed to be binged. They were just designed to be. You just walk in a theater every so often, and you'll see a new cartoon. There was no TV at home, so you wouldn't be rewatching these things and memorizing every single aspect to go, wait a minute, they did that joke before. No,
Oh, absolutely.
And that gag right there, where he's trying to kiss her, would not certainly fly today with the whole Me Too movement.
Yeah,
it's certainly not appropriate. But
Mickey's over party, right, guys?
Yeah.
I never understood that. How does his nose get stuck to the end of the? I never understood that. His nose just. Yeah, I don't know. Well, the cartoon is pretty much over, as you know. I'm very commonly on Anthony's channel too, so if you want to check it out, there will be a link, of course. Of course, there will be a link, and I'll put a card and everything. I'll do all that fancy stuff. But Anthony, any final thoughts?
Yeah, this one's a classic, and it's just fun to watch. That's all it is to it.
All right, well, I think that's it. Have a good one, guys. Remember to subscribe and all that good stuff, and until next time.
See ya.
Hi, everyone. I just really quickly wanted to get a couple things out of the way. Originally, I had plans so that there was going to be 4 cartoons in this, and the thing is, I am way behind schedule on this. It's just been a hectic week for me, a couple weeks, so I didn't want you guys to wait while I re-edit the other cartoon, so I decided to put this out as a testing ground to see the audience level. I did all the editing here. I want to say that future episodes will probably have a couple more effects in between cartoons. I just wanted to quickly get this out there because it's been far too long and it's just been sitting on my drive for a long time now. So I'd really like feedback here. I know that usually it'd be Anthony saying all this stuff to you, but I really do appreciate those who watch this whole video. If you don't know who I am, I don't know how. I'm Blue Genocide. I do videos on my own channel, and hopefully you may be interested to check me out. I do more than just animation, so just warning you right now. So yeah, the next episode will be longer, and there will start to be 2 different episodes each week on both of the channels. So you won't get all these Toondudes Matinee on Anthony's channel. You'll get some on mine, and you'll get some on Anthony's. So, maybe consider subscribing. I'd really like to hit 1,000, but I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you so much for watching my experiment. Hopefully I'll figure it out and improve it from here. So thank you. Bye.